Not again. Not again. This is unacceptable. Our hearts and minds are with the families of Kehinde, the 14-year-old boy that lost his life in Oyo State. A young life just forced out of the young man. Dreams wasted. Destinies cut short. Trust disappointed. Country that continues failing its people. They will always say Nigeria happens to Nigerians. Nigeria has happened to Kehinde. I've seen a lot of blame game going on. Even the police in their statements seem to absorb themselves, have excuses, and their statements trying to once again paint themselves in a positive light. We learned that the police is attached to the traffic control agency because they face attacks from the people. In this case, I don't see any public provocation that would warrant releasing a bullet. People are blaming the father of the boy for driving against traffic. I would like us to weigh the action, the result, and the action, the product of the police action and the offense in view. There is no way the incident matches any action the police is trying to paint. It's where the action versus the reaction. There is no way the loss of the life of that boy will be commensurate with the excuses of our agencies of the incident will be commensurate with what has happened. Now, causes and effects. Why do people drive against traffic? Either they want to beat traffic, they want to beat time, or there is no clear-cut route to their destination. Whatever the issues are, there is no reason to drive against traffic. But if it happens, how are we expected to react? Let's look at the case in view. The boy is said to be going for an exam. And in the process, the father is trying to get him to the venue. And then the police says he's driving against traffic. Traffic regulation, traffic is not solely the work of the police. What is even policing? What is policing? That one trigger-happy, I don't know what, one trigger-happy man in uniform snuffed the life out of a young man who is just beginning to grow up, to look up to his country, who is just beginning to take a step towards contributing to his country, write his WAEC exam. The preparations that have gone in, the panic, the biros, pencils, every tool needed for that exam in the hands of that young boy who is hopeful that he's going to write his exams. How all of a sudden he finds himself beyond, on the other side of life. Is he writing the exam over there now? I also learned that his twin brother was in the same vehicle with him. Imagine the trauma. Did that one also continue sitting for the exam for that day? No, I don't think so. Imagine also the trauma of the father who would have discovered that his actions had led to the death of his young son. A son who believed in his father, who trusted his judgment, who trusted his protection, who had believed that everything is under control with my father. Everything failed this young man. Everything failed this young man. Decision making. One moment of a wrong decision can spoil years of hard work, years of achievements. Daily, as we navigate our lives, we Get careful about decision making. Worst case scenario, you will be late. Worst case scenario, you will pay a fine. Worst case scenario. But that's by the way. I will never in any way justify the death of that boy, justify the pulling of the trigger, justify whatever happened that day on the grounds of the misbehavior of this man. Traffic offense. How can it be handled? Who trains our police officers? If you've been attached to road safety, attached to whatever agency that is in charge of the roads or traffic, it doesn't mean that you must use that gun. They said he was aiming at the tires. Those of you who have gone through simulations on targeting will know that the range, the trajectory between the screen of a vehicle and the tire is a whole angle. It's a serious angle. That trajectory is up to a 90-degree. And then someone says, I was aiming the tire and then I shot a young child in the car. That story is badadash. There was an attempt to shoot at the man. You want to demobilize the car because you just want to give punishment right away. We have to learn. Our agencies have to learn that punishment doesn't have to be now and now instantly, because that is exactly why they say that the arm of the law is long. It means that no matter how far you run, it will reach you someday. You will be caught. Are you not in the same country? You will be caught. All these things are raising issues of reforms. How we put measures in place not to destroy many things in the name of enforcing laws, not to spoil what we intend to build. Teaching our agencies patience, that you don't have to catch a thief right there and then, destroying many lives. If you can do that or achieve that without destroying many things, then go ahead. But if you have to do it destroying many things, don't try it. In a very busy road, in a highly populated town, you are shooting. What if it is not even the boy that was caught in the crossfire? It could be another person. Such a busy road. You want to demobilize a car that you can always get. You can even go to the venue or follow him to the venue of where he wants to drop his children for the exams, knowing full well that he's going to stop at the point if you are that impatient. Whatever. Serious reforms, serious reforms, serious reforms. Our police force need reforms. That is one of the demands of the NSAS. Psychological evaluation. What instructions do they live with? What happens to someone who fires a gun? How do they account for these guns? Not again. Too many lives have gone in the hands of the people that are supposed to protect us. It's like an annual thing. Every quarter, every month, every year, there is a report of someone who has lost his life by those who should be protecting them. How do we reinforce the trust we have in our police force? If they tell us the police is our friend, is it true or it is on papers? How do we enforce this? A lot is happening that the country has to now begin to look into these things. We have remained careless for a long time. There is no need for that boy to go. There is no need for that boy to have lost his life. There is no need. People drive against traffic all the time. People drive against traffic. It has become one of the menaces in our society. How do we prevent such? Another reform. Can we now bring back the life of this boy? The police statement is making it look like we did everything. He's the one at fault. They say he, with the highest mass of brain, is expected to show more wisdom. What does that mean? It's not in the size of the head, not in the size of the brain mass, but in responsibility. Those who occupy certain positions of power and certain positions of leadership are expected to show more restraint than those who are not in those positions. The police is expected to show more restraint, more professionality, more professionalism, more patience in the face of provocation. Look at how they were all in a hot chase for someone that has just committed a traffic offense. And you know, in Senate clients, I will always reference that. They will write you. They will give you months to pay the fine, give you more time. And if you don't, at the expiration of the original time, they add another fine on it, increasing your punishment, not necessarily harming your body. Those are deterrents. And probably our own police force were going to either find the man on the spot, delay him to the point that his children will miss the exam. These are the possible fears. And then aggravate the whole situation. That is why the Nigerian people lose trust in our police system. This forceful approach to handling matters. Forceful approach to handling matters. This spontaneity, it must be now and here. We will teach you a lesson. That is why the trust is not trusting. They are not trusting the police. If the police shows restraint, if our agencies shows restraint, Nigerians will begin to have that trust you want them to have in you, believe in you. Moving forward, can we begin to train in this regard?